Thanks, John. Good afternoon. I'm Jones DeBose. As a board member of Harvest Hope, I've known and worked closely with Denise for many years. Denise is the CEO of Harvest Hope. It's headquartered in Columbia, but serves 20 counties throughout central South Carolina. Harvest Hope provides food for over 450 member agencies. These member agencies include food pantries, soup kitchens, emergency shelters, and kids cafe meal programs. Denise has served in this capacity for 16 years, managing 4 locations, including warehouses in Columbia and Greenville. Harvest Hope has almost 100 employees and utilizes over 125 volunteers weekly to distribute over 32 million pounds of food annually. Harvest Hope is a member of the South Carolina Food Bank Association, which consists of 4 food banks in South Carolina that in turn represent 1,300 member agencies. She has served as president of this volunteer group and has served on the board for the past 11 years. Denise is a new member of the Capitol Rotary Club. She's active locally with the United Way and has served as past chair of the CEO organization of the United Way of the Midlands. She is a past board chair of the South Carolina Association of Nonprofits and was a prior board member of the Super Bowl of Care. Denise is an active member and on the board of trustees at Platte Springs United Methodist Church. She's received the Nonprofit Leadership Institute Award for Excellence in Leadership, and in 2013, Denise received the Outstanding Fundraising Executive Award from the Association of Fundraising Professionals. Denise is a native of South Carolina and a graduate of the University of South Carolina and is married with 2 children. Denise, welcome to our club.
Thank you very much for having me here today. I see so many great friends and I've been able to speak to you, and thank you for your support. I greatly admire the leadership and the collaborative support that Columbia Rotary provides to us and to many other nonprofits. Your support is very deeply heartfelt. I'm honored to be able to not only share this time of Christmas with you, but also to say thank you and to very specifically talk about exactly what you mean to Harvest Hope Food Bank and to hungry people in 20 counties who depend on us. Your involvement and interest is so very important to us, particularly being responsive to Rotary Has Heart, an initiative put forward by Ann Matthews and continuing in 2015 with Jimmy Williamson. I was thrilled to see the pictures where you participated with us on the screen. Being with us to fight hunger and help find solutions as to what causes hunger is very important to me. My goal is to keep you aware, involved, and informed. So far, the Columbia Rotary Club in 2014 has given $4,000 in monetary donations to our hunger relief mission. Many of you support also individually, and that number does not include your individual support, so it is very much larger than what I just said. Your participation in the packing event called Pack to Feed has provided more than 8,400 meals to families in areas where obtaining adequate food is very difficult. We have used these boxes primarily for mobile food pantries, in which we do 40 per month, serving each about 50 to 100 families. These meals have gone to help our friends and our neighbors who have fallen on hard times and have difficulty putting food on their tables. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for your partnership in fighting hunger. We celebrate you, Columbia Rotary Club, and all the Rotarians here, and your generosity. As many of you know, our mission is to provide for hungry people by gathering and sharing quality food with dignity, compassion, and education. This is a simple enough message, but the variables of gathering and sharing food are many and multifaceted. Not only do we gather food, operating 16 frozen and refrigerated trucks and some tractor trailers, daily picking up from manufacturers, wholesalers, and retailers, but there are in addition to many laws and certifications providing oversight and assurance that we keep food safely from point of reception to point of distribution. Currently, every food bank across the nation in the family of Feeding America is going through AIB, the American Institute of Bakers, Certification. This is one of the highest and most recognized food safety certifications of all food manufacturers and wholesalers must attain. This will be a great achievement for us, and our plan, hopefully, and say a prayer for us, is that we have this completed by January of 2016. We have always been very conscientious of food safety, but this certification is a much higher level and is more associated with the for-profit area than the nonprofit area. For every process through this certification, we will face challenges and changes as we go forward. It will be a challenging year ahead, and changes, but definitely supported. They will some be very expensive, and most certainly the right course nationally and locally for us to take. As what we receive in donations, we must protect those brands of food, and this is a part of all of that. This certification not only includes the very important aspects of food safety process, but also process changes, lean manufacturing, supply chain management improvements, process change, and education. We continue our 35-year mission of providing food to the most vulnerable of our state and to other nonprofits also serving this population in crisis. It is with great gusto, with great advocacy, and our desire to have your continued support that we do this. Our relationship with you and your club has given us many opportunities to utilize your expertise. With your support, Harvest Hope has collected and stored over 27 million pounds of food in fiscal year 13 and distributed over 20 million pounds of food across our service area. There are many of you here, and we continue to support you, and I thank you. There are many people in this room who we have had deep dive conversations with about our needs. You've taken tours of our facility, and there are prior and current board members here along with others who has helped with critical analysis of the many issues that surround hunger in an effort to stop hunger. This has been extremely valued and wonderful. Your involvement both on a club level and a personal level will always be welcomed and utilized as we make South Carolina better by solving the hunger problem. There is still a great war on poverty in our country, and certainly here at home. Harvest Hope has been working alongside many organizations since 1982 to fight this battle that really is so close to each of us. There are many reasons why someone experiences hunger, and for all of us, it could happen just like that. In South Carolina, more than 1 in 6 individuals face food insecurity, meaning that they know they do not have enough food in their home or the means to get it to last them for the rest of the month. This is a ratio that unfortunately exceeds our national average of 1 in 7. These individuals, many of whom work 1 or more jobs, lack the resources to provide enough nutrition for basic living for themselves and their family members. But you have joined us in this battle over the years, and again, our celebration of your commitment to see that no one goes hungry tonight without a meal. It is your spirit of being actively involved with us that I celebrate and applaud. More than 860,000 South Carolinians, lived below the poverty threshold in 2013, which for a family of 4 adds up to about $23,550 of household income annually. The percentage of South Carolinians classified as living in poverty rose from 18.3% to 18.6%. Locally, 68,386, or 18.6% of the population in Richland County live in poverty, and 12.5% in Lexington County. The proportion of children under 18 living in poverty in the state rose from 26.9% to 27.5%. This is more than 1 in 4 children in Richland School Districts 1 and 2, 57.6%, or 27,831 students are eligible for free reduced lunch. Last year, Harvest Hope participated in the Hunger in America study in conjunction with Feeding America. This 4-year study took a closer look at those individuals seeking food assistance and why they are in need. We found out specific data such as 78% of our clients must choose each month between buying food and paying for common household expenses. 71% choose between food and medical costs, and 56 reported that they are working 2 jobs or have recently been unemployed. These are important issues that we work with and are keys to solving or at least reducing hunger. We provide clients with resources and want to increase our relationship with organizations that help our clients take those next steps. Taking those next steps are important for us to reduce hunger. It's important that we are involved along with you in that effort. Some of you are with companies or churches that have not only supported us financially, but have done food drives as well. Food drives are important to us as that represents almost 100% of the canned food drive to canned food and non-perishable items that we get. 60% of our total distribution is perishable food. It's meat, it's deli, it's dairy, it's bakery, it's prepared foods. 60% of everything that we do is in that realm. It does cause us to look at things a little bit differently. But all of those ways in which a person participates, by coming to volunteer, by being a part of a financial donation, by being actively involved in encouraging others to give food drives and to have food drives, is important to us. All of those aspects help us carry out our mission of providing for hungry people. In the food banking business, our core business is agency distribution. It is where we work with nonprofit agencies to help them have the food that they need. We go out across the nation and work to encourage donations with Feeding America of tractor-trailer loads of food. We operate those 16 trucks in our 20 counties to pick up food. And that is in the core business effort of helping many nonprofit agencies, 450 of them, to have food every day. When they come in to get that from us, they do pay what is called a shared maintenance fee. Feeding America says that that can never be more than 19 cents per pound, and it can never be more than 40% of our income for our budget. I am very happy to say that, like you, we are in the game with the nonprofits that are a part of us. We help them. Never do they pay, on average, they pay between 5 and 7 cents per pound, and that has always been about 12 to 15% of our operating budget. You see, the more money that we can save them, the more money that they have to put back into their core missions. Again, my sincerest appreciation for all the ways that you have participated with us. Another one of our programs that we do is the backpack program, and many of you have helped in this way. This is where we look for a sponsor, a funder to help us purchase food. We work with a faith partner to pack it. We work with churches who have, or schools who have high free or reduced breakfast and lunch. The faith partners pack the food and get it delivered to them. That is an important program that we offer because many times children are going home on the weekend or a holiday period without anything to eat. Our program of the backpack program provides for 7 meals each weekend, 28 meals over the month for a $30 sponsorship each month. We'll tell you a quick story about that. A couple of weeks ago, and there was a Wednesday night meal at one of the churches, one of the faith partners who packed for the backpack program. And a man and his daughter walked in The church knew that this was not any members of their church, so several went over to talk to him. And this is what he said. He said, "I'm not here to ask for anything else. I know that you help with my daughter have a backpack each weekend. But what I am here to say is a heartfelt thank you. You see, her mother, my wife, left us a couple of months ago, and there have been times when going from a 2-income family to a 1-income family has just been too much to bear, and I've worried that my daughter did not have enough to eat. You have made it possible for us to have that." That is what the backpack program means. Our best known of our operation is our 3 emergency food pantries. Our emergency food pantries provide immediate hunger relief to families, seniors, and children right at our very own doorsteps. I know many of you drive down Shop Road and you see the long lines. The Friday before Thanksgiving, when we opened up our emergency food pantry, we had no meat. It really was a scramble all day to get that done. But you see the long lines, and they still continue that way today. When those families come to us, we want to connect them with any public benefit programs that we have, help them get on SNAP if they're not there. But they are reporting all the same things about why they are experiencing hunger. So we also want to connect them to other community resources to help them through this whole area. We really focus on food. When they come to us, our goal is to push out 90 to 100 pounds of food per person when they are there that will take care of the rest of the month. You see, the SNAP benefit only covers about 10 to 14 days of the month, and it is that rest of the month where they are definitely food insecure. Our purpose in doing that is when we can push out enough of that food at that point, we take their need for food off the table and give them resources to go tackle those other things. And they do not have to worry about not having food the rest of the month. That is a true statement as to how we can better stop hunger. In 35 years, our success says that when we can do that successfully, we see them 3 times. And that is important. It is important to stop hunger right there. Our best stories come from our emergency food pantries because we're there and the volunteers are right there. Well, so one story I will share, some of you may have heard this story before, but it is entirely appropriate at Christmas time. Into our emergency food pantry, a lady rolled in a wheelchair. She looked very much in a weakened state, but she had 3 stair-step children with her. Those 3 children were a little precocious and they were active. If any of you know the new Reverend Porter Anderson, he was a volunteer at the time and he passed away several years ago. He was a great volunteer, a great advocate for those who are experiencing hunger. He realized what was going on, and while that lady was talking to one of our volunteer counselors in the emergency food pantry, he took those 3 children to the packing area and helped them be busy. The first thing they did was they packed a buggy, like what the volunteers pack for the families who are coming in to see us. And then he had them busy sorting and repacking tomatoes and sorting and repacking baked goods and just being involved and being busy. Well, a little while later, she was rolled into that packing area to gather her 3 children. And they ran up to her and they said, "No, we don't want to go today. This is too much fun." She said, "Well, I'm afraid we have to." The middle little boy looked at Porter Anderson and said, "Well, are we going to get food today?" And he said, "Yes, you are. You remember that buggy that was packed, that you packed first off?" And he nodded his head. He said, "That's what you'll take home." The middle little boy and the oldest little boy walked to that buggy, and here is what one of the other volunteers heard them say. The middle little boy looked up at his older brother and he said, "Wow, we've never had this much food before. It's kind of like Christmas." The older little brother put his hand on that brother's shoulder and said, "But that's what good people do. to help people like us. Hunger doesn't know any boundaries. Hunger could be everywhere. And indeed, should we get sick, should something happen to our jobs, should something happen in general, we lose a spouse, we have some catastrophic event, we could be right there. You, Columbia Rotary Club, you are excellent. You are great people helping great people just like ourselves. You bring Christmas to those who are needy every time you reach out to one of the nonprofits here in Columbia. My sincerest appreciation to all of you for what you do, and certainly for your help here. I hope in the coming months in February you will also participate again in Rotary Has Heart. It is an initiative for all of us as Rotarians to reach out into our communities and do something to help put a stop to hunger. Best wishes for Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of you. Thank you for allowing me to be here today.
We have time for
A few questions. Are there a few questions? Yes, sir.
What is the source of the food that you get? I would pack some of that. It was nice. And where do you get that food?
It is varied. For the most part, we work in our 20 counties to work with manufacturers, wholesalers, retailers, and folks who will have food drives to obtain the food that we need. We also have USDA food, and that ranges between 15 and 20% of our supplies. And then we have some national manufacturers who give through Feeding America that we arrange that private transportation for to get it here. But primarily, our food that we give out is local. It stays local. It is coming from local sources in our 20 counties, and it stays local.
But you have to pay for some of it.
I do have to pay for some of it. There's some programs that we purchase food for. There are some areas, sometimes that we get grants or donations that's specifically for the purchase of food. So there are times that we purchase it. Our total purchase program is about 8 to 10% of what we totally do.
Denise, you told us about the weekend, the backpacks. Will you tell us about the holidays, the kids that are in school today? They're out on Friday for a couple of weeks. Then there's also the spring break and, of course, summer break. What special, I guess, fulfillment of food needs happen through Harvest Hope and all of your agencies during those special breaks when the kids are no longer in school?
That is a great question and a constant worry for us as far as the food bank is concerned. Many of our Backpack Faith partners, and along with the funding that we have through our Backpack Faith partners, have also purchased holiday boxes from us. And they're trying to give that family the additional food they need during that time period. We do that during Thanksgiving break, Christmas break, and Easter break. Those are important. The issue, though, is that those children have to carry it. So we have to make that arrangement to get picked up at the church itself. During the summer months, there is the summer school feeding program, which is a USDA program. We need a lot more. There's the ability for South Carolina to have many more school feeding sites than what are currently out there, but we try to encourage that and work with our member agencies to apply and be ready for that when the summertime comes. The summer and any time that school is out, even for a half day, we see our numbers for just our emergency food pantries, our requests for mobile food pantries, jump up sometimes as high as 25% over when school is in session. So school being out is a critical time for us. Great question. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Denise, thank you for your time. This is from the club and appreciation for coming. We're thankful for all y'all do there for our community, and we've really enjoyed our opportunities to serve there at your establishment. It's been a great way to serve and grow in fellowship with our club.
Thank you. I hope you'll continue.
We will continue, absolutely. A few quick announcements. I had a bunch of papers being handed to me there at the end. That's good. We learned how to multitask in Rotary. A reminder that the baskets on the table, those are for holiday tips for the Siebel staff. If you haven't had an opportunity to contribute to that. Tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. to 8:30 on 92.1 and 94.3 The Dew. Myself, JT, and Major Colson will be on the radio discussing the Rotary bell ringing campaign in conjunction with the Salvation Army and all that's doing during this Christmas season. So if you have an opportunity tomorrow, that's from 8 to 8:30 on 92.1 and 94.3 from 8 to 8:30 in the morning. Carrie wanted to remind me, if you do have any bell ringing pictures, if you please email those to her. She can post those on our website and our social media. Her email address is on our website. That's ColumbiaRotaryClub.org. And if you did visit there and you scroll down, you saw links to past meetings where you can easily view those meetings on YouTube. Last week's meeting was really impressive with Dr. Lincoln, and that's there. And we'll have Denise's program up later in the week. On January 5th for Cal Carpenter, because we're expecting such a large crowd, and most of us will be bringing guests, Robert Goings and his membership committee are going to have a table in the back of the room. It's just an information table is all it is, where if you bring a guest who's just interested in what Rotary has to do in the community, and they would like to have some questions answered, they can just visit that table. Robert Goings and some other Rotarians will be there and can answer any questions they might have about how to get involved in Rotary. We will not be meeting for the next 2 weeks. And the next week is January 5th. Mark, do you want to add anything?
I think you've covered it.
All right, Cal Carpenter. Does anybody not know who's speaking on January 5th? There we go, Cal Carpenter. And to close, Hal's going to come up and lead us in some Christmas music.
Acapella, Hal.
We thought it would be appropriate to sing Joy to the World at Christmas, if y'all will, just go with me. Jeremiah was. Ellen is going to play Joy to the World. Seriously. I wanted us to leave for 2 weeks, and being away was appropriate again, I think, to talk about this as Christmas. As Rotarians, we are a secular organization. We don't want anybody ever to be offended, but of course, we also have the same obligation to pursue our faith. Any of you that were here when Mick Lurie was here, he used to pray for us in very powerful prayers. So if you are not of the Christian faith in this congregation of people that are gathered today, don't worry about it, it's okay. We thought it would be good to leave Joy to the World. It's a joyous time. John, I want to congratulate you. You're a servant leader. Grateful for you being willing to serve. Libby Gober has challenged all the bell ringers.
Yes.
She's in the lead, but her day is over.
Yes.
And my day is Friday at Green's Liquor Store. You know, the guy with the microphone last, Libby, you know how it goes. You can get on the website. You can get on the website and go. So everybody come and visit us at Green's on Friday. And with that, Ellen, we're just going to sing the first thing that everybody should know. Joy to the world. The Lord has come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room in heaven and nature sing. So please stand and Merry Christmas.